Hey there, it's Sandy. And this week I just have to chime in about something I've been calling tapping in the moment. In fact, on the YouTube channel, there is, I believe, I should go look, a short video on that idea. And I've used it for a long time, and sometimes I jump into it without realizing it, especially if just, something frustrating comes up or something. But yesterday I had an incident, and I just dove into it sort of instinctively, and it was really powerful. So I just want to share that with you and some ideas on how you can do that. So, as you know, if you're following me, I do teach you how to use EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, and how to use it quickly to downregulate all of the fight, flight, freeze type of stress response that we can have, especially when your thoughts are spinning in your head and you just need to be able to focus. So it helps you get grounded and get into your body and feel and have more space in your brain to actually do what you want to do or think about what you want to think about, all of that. So yesterday, I had an opportunity to drive and go get a few things that I needed, and I was heading off to the mall because there was a big Target near there, and I just wanted to check out to see if they had the workout clothes that I like. Well, they did not, but getting there took me hours instead of about 15-20 minutes. So I was driving my partner Ray's car because we just share his. I don't really need the car right now, so it's kind of fun. Anyway, when I left and I went out just across the street and do sort of a little U-turn to go off to get up onto the interstate, I hit the curb with the back right tire. And I thought it was okay because, we've all done that. It's happened before. So I didn't notice until I was going on the highway and, a bit, and saw this little yellow light that was an exclamation point with inside parenthesis. That's a tire. So, I thought, oh gosh, I must be, losing air. I'm going to have to probably get off sooner, maybe get into a gas station and get some air, right? So just driving, trying to get to someplace, right? And still thinking I can get all the way to where I'm going. And too late, already way too late. I had lost all the air. It blew. But fortunately, I was able to pull over. I was in the middle lane. I was able to get over very quickly. Obviously, people behind me saw what was happening, but I was able to just get right over and pull off to the side as far as I could, put the flashers on, etc. So immediately, though, I gravitate to my collarbone when I do tapping in the moment, right? And I just sort of hand over heart, fingers and thumb on the collarbone points. And segue, if you are not familiar with the tapping points on our face and body, I do have a video for that, and you can find it easily, and it's called How to Tap. So I'm sitting there, and again, if you're familiar with tapping, you express what's on your mind, what's going on in your head, the negative thoughts. You don't avoid them. You actually say them out loud or to yourself. So I was just sitting there, tapping away, and just, okay, I'm feeling heart palpitations, and I'm not breathing very well. It's pretty shallow. Okay, I'm going to breathe. But mostly it was, well, that felt like a stupid thing. I'm not a stupid person, but I did a stupid thing. Oh my God, that could have been so bad. Holy crap, right? So I'm just tapping away. And seriously, not for very long. That's the point I want to make, is it's very fast. So I began to really settle in. I wasn't as anxious as I would have been, years ago. I would have been a mess. But, it happens. You get triggered. Your body's ready to either fight, flight, freeze, or whatever, right? So it was ready to do something. And I just was able to settle in. And the most amazing things were happening because I just felt, okay, this is the situation. I called Ray. He has AAA, so he told me where to find the card and call and do all of that stuff. And I was in good hands. I felt protected. I was away from the traffic. It's the interstate. It was pretty busy, and they fly by, and it was crazy. But in the next moment, there's a tree here that when it sheds its seeds, it's the funniest thing. It looks like millions of dandelion seeds flying. And sometimes in certain lights in the evening, it looks like it's snowing. So all of a sudden, millions of these little, I called them fairy angels, came flying through. I mean, you could hardly see. They were just floating all around and swirling around the car, coming in the window. And I just felt so much protected and in magic. So also, if you know me, I am in touch with my spirit, my higher self, connections to the upper realms, and knowing that I have protection. We all do. We all have guardian angels and other angels and spirit guides and protectors. And so if you know me well, that happens. But I just felt so good. I thought, oh my gosh, it's really hot. We're having unseasonable hot weather. So I'm sitting with the window open, but fanning myself to keep my body cool and myself calm. But the tapping in the moment just kept me that way. And I was able to just say, I'm just going to be with the flow. I'm going to sit here. I had to wait quite a while to get the truck to come. The first guy that came tried his best. We couldn't find the lock. It's a lug nut lock. Couldn't find that. He had to call a flatbed truck to come and get me and take me to the dealership because it was the right rear tire and the whole type of truck he had. And I'm in the SUV, whatever. So I had to wait again for another truck. So I went to the dealership, and then I was sitting there waiting, but they really expedited it fast because, of course, my guy Ray had called ahead and talked to, they know him very well. So that's not the story. The story is using tapping. When you have maybe it's a thought. Something happened. Maybe it was just today in the morning, or it was yesterday, last week. Can be a year ago, many years ago. Something triggered thoughts in your head, and you feel that. You feel this anxiousness, or maybe anger, or sadness. All sorts of thoughts will come in. When you have that, you just stop for a second. Stop and start tapping. And you can tap, as you know, or you might, again, refer to my video, but you can tap on the points with one hand or both. Either or. The points run down both sides of the body. So, and often, as I've shared, I just gravitate to the collarbone. You'll see me do this more often than not. I live down south where hand over heart's pretty popular. Not the bless her heart kind of thing, but just, oh my goodness, right? So anyway, I did that a lot when my late husband I was just being so frustrated over the dementia. And it was like one more time of fixing him a quarter of a sandwich to eat every 10 minutes or so. Is there something to eat? And I remember just kind of losing all my patience, because it wasn't just that. There was a lot of other things that he did, or anger might come in for him, but there was just like one more time. And I remember so clearly that I would have his little dish rinsing under the faucet at the kitchen sink while I was tapping. Oh my God, this is so frustrating. Oh my God, what am I going to do? This is amazing. I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is insane. Oh, I'm so frustrated. And within seconds, I would be able to, keep moving on. There's so much more to it. If you've got my book and you're reading it, or you've read it, I've got those stories, many stories in there to share with you. And if you haven't, jump on, go get it. You come to my website. It's easy to get the link at sandyevenson.com, and also, of course, on Amazon. And it's right behind me there, The Woo Woo Way. unblock your chakras, and transform your life. Tapping in the moment. Whenever it happens, I have tapped during a movie when it's really sad. I'll sit with my hands like this, sort of between my legs or knees, and just tap away. Or, Ray's used to me, so he'll see me do this. And you can tap anywhere. I was in the car thinking about how many times I have told you or some of my clients how to use the car to go tapping, because it's a place where you can be alone and you can scream and you can get the anger out or frustration out. But also, if you're on the road and somebody cuts you off, instead of giving them the finger, you give yourself the finger. If you're driving, you can use the side of your hand on the steering wheel. Make sure you hold down with the other. Yes, it's dangerous to be doing other things other than paying attention. So generally pull over and do more tapping, or go somewhere where you can sit in the shade or be protected and scream away. And I have always been so never surprised, but also amazed by the process of tapping. In my coaching, I use tapping to go further, to go deeper. First, you learn how to use it all the time to help you with what's going on for you, whether you're looking to get healthy, and there are a lot of issues around that, being able to make it through some sort of illness or devastating disease, or even just not feeling well, emotional trauma, of course, and a lot of women with weight issues. It tends to bring along the health issues with that. We do a lot around cravings and emotional eating, that sort of thing, but also around prosperity and how we want to attract things into our life. And then there's, of course, loving relationships. Many of the women I've worked with are dealing with relationships, whether it's a friendship, a boss or coworker, an ex or a current spouse, partner, all sorts of things. And especially we're many of us more mature, ageless women, and many want now to attract someone, a loving relationship, into their life, to share life with. And we do a lot around that too. But this message today is for you to embrace the idea of basic tapping that absolutely has been studied and shown that it instantly turns off that fight, flight, freeze response. And even if you're into things that happened for me, where I was in a codependent relationship and meshed with my late husband, I didn't know where I stopped and he began. So codependent and meshed. I could now, in my own relationship now, if I sense that, I can do some tapping around it. It's like, okay, pay attention to yourself. This is your need. It's not about him. So I'm hoping that this inspires you to reach out, ask me questions, respond here in the comments, email me, stay subscribed here. Make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter. Share it with friends. Let's see how we can build this community of ageless women ready to empower themselves and shine their best light, to get rid of the inner demons and live life the way you want to live. I hope you're going to have a great rest of your day and week, and we'll see you next time.